Hi everyone, Marcus here from Playground Ideas. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I am going to start talking. I'm going to start talking about the things that have interested me, the things that I think will be interesting to you. I've been building or supporting people to build playgrounds around the world now for almost 12 years. And I think I've learnt a lot about that process, and I want to start talking to people, and I want to start hearing from all of you guys about what are the things you think about. I mean, like, it's a big community. There's probably, between email and Facebook and other things, there's probably 60,000 people that I'm talking to, and you've all got opinions and thoughts on play and childhood, and how we want to see those things change in this modern, complex world where children, I feel, need play more than ever. So, welcome to what I'm currently calling Playducation. And I've done a little chart. This is what I think it's going to be about at this stage. So, in the center is play, which is learning and is development. That's the child's kind of key tool. And I guess I'm just going to be talking about how that intersects with these different things. So design, which is obviously something we are big on. The way you design spaces defines the way that children interact in the world, whether that's in cities, whether that's just in your local playground, whether that's in a school. So design is something really important to me. Education is something that I don't actually talk to the world about much, but it's actually something I spend a lot of my time talking about. And I think that I have some concerns about education and how there's a bit of a mismatch between education and the world that children are going to live in. And I want to talk about that some more, and I'd like to really hear about what your concerns are about education for kids and how that intersects with play. Childhoods, I want to talk about that and the way that children's lives have fundamentally changed since I was a child, particularly since my parents and grandparents were children. But even further back than that, in the last 10,000 years since we've become one-place Neolithic farmers, the world has changed fundamentally. And I want to explore that, and I'd like to explore that with the people who would like to explore that with me. If you're into it, let me know in the comments below. And parenting, I'm the parent of a 3 and a 6-year-old, and play and parenting has changed a lot, and I'd like to touch on that as well, because all of these things come together to help us understand children and give them a better life. So I couldn't find people talking online who were saying the things that I wanted to listen to or that I wanted to engage with as much. And so I guess I want to start talking about that in a more immediate way with people. So I guess I'm following in the footsteps of some people I really respect, like Sir Ken Robinson and his concerns about children and education, and free-range parent advocate Lenore Skenazy and her concerns, and the Bush Kinder movement and play workers, and there's a solid bunch of you out there who really care about this stuff, and I want to talk to you guys more, and I want to understand that world more, and I want to make changes in the world to see children thrive better. So welcome to Playducation. The other thing I want to do is I really want to keep you guys informed about where we're at with Noodle. If I move back here, you might be able to see that. This is our beautiful Noodle Mini, which is really exciting. We are actually going to be, these are like a miniature scale model of the real Noodle Cart. And we just developed this as a prototyping tool to make Noodle Cart work perfectly. And as soon as we started showing people, they were like, can I get one of those? Like, that's the coolest puzzle I've ever seen. So we said yes. So we are currently going to manufacture 100 of these. If you guys are into that and you'd like one, I would love to get you one. So that's a bit of news. Also, we've got, Noodle Cart, I've just today picked up the first final cut of the Noodle Cart, the production model. It's been manufactured here in Melbourne, and this Thursday we're going to be putting it together. So that will mean that we are fully ready to go with the production model pretty soon to run incursions and other things like that. All right, moving to the news of the day. In terms of playground ideas, we've got 2 new manuals coming out, and I'll get some pictures. I've got some pictures which I'll stick up on the screen now, which are of the 2 front covers. I'm really excited. These have been a long time in waiting. We got a bit caught up with the production of Noodle Cart and all of that stuff. So those handbooks will be ready, free, and available to you as soon as the web developers get them online, which usually takes a few weeks, but they're all produced and they are looking really great. So the Nature Play Manual was written with Claire Warden, who has been advocating for natural spaces for children for a long time now. She's incredible. We will put a link to her website below. And the other manual is about play streets, and that intersects with my thoughts about cities and how cities are really not currently designed for children. So it's, I think, about 10 to 15 different ways that you can make a difference to children in your local block, in your local city, where cities can become more child friendly. So I'm super excited about that. The other cool thing that's just happened, you might have seen on Facebook, we put out the word for bushfire affected schools, and we've had a great response from that. We have just awarded the first of that Play Your Way Moose Toys funded grant to a school in Corryong. They basically, their entire circumference of their entire town has been completely obliterated, and I couldn't be happier to be getting that out, which is great. And we're going to get that out to them as quick as we can. If you know someone from a bushfire affected school, we still have the opportunity to get some of those grants to you. Please send an email to noodle@playgroundideas.org, and you can please just tell us about your story. Tell us what you've been through. Tell us how your town has been affected. We're not specifically looking for schools that have been burnt down to the ground. We know that there are a couple who've experienced that. But Noodle Cart is a fantastic tool for well-being as well. So we really want to create some child-friendly spaces within schools. Corryong has gone through a lot. They've just had the bushfire, but they've also just moved to a new school from their old school, which was just shut down, and they don't even have a playground yet. So they've got a school with no playground, and they've just been through this very traumatic event. So we're super happy to be doing that. Okay, so the next bit of news is the 23rd of Feb, which is this Sunday week. So it's a very short period. We've already sold, I think, around 50% of the cinema tickets. The seats in the cinema have already been sold out. 23rd of February, Nova Cinema, 2 p.m. The Transitions Film Festival is showing our feature-length documentary, The Wheels of Wonder, and I would love it if you could come along. It's the story of how we developed the idea of Noodle Cart in the first part of our development with mostly Syrian refugees in a very, very disadvantaged area of Beirut, Lebanon. After the movie, that's when we trialled it with about 20 schools in Australia. But this is kind of the precursor of how we developed the initial idea. And yeah, it's a really made by Roger Ungers, an incredible young filmmaker, and it's an exciting journey into that world of the refugee crisis over there and how we were creating child-friendly spaces with a Noodle Cart. The last bit of news is we've got an offer at the moment where Australian schools can apply to get a free incursion, which we usually charge $600 for, to their school for the whole day. If you would like Noodle Cart to come to your school and to usually we do about 3 sessions, a morning and a mid-morning and an afternoon session with kids, we would love to do that. There's a couple of conditions that apply, but they're no big deal. And we will bring a Noodle Cart to your school and you can have a go. We'd love that. So welcome to Playducation. That's the news of the week. I just want to hear from you guys. I want to know what's important to you about play and design and childhood and education and parenting. And I want to work together in a community to make the world better for children. And I'm going to start creating content based on people's interests and people's desires and also the stuff that just interests me. So thanks for joining me for today. And I look forward to sharing more soon. Over and out.